Guess what? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. We'll have lots of fun. See ya. Well, good morning and Merry Christmas. This is Christmas Day, and I am getting ready to go to another family gathering here in a little bit, and I'm taking along what my family calls company broccoli, and it's a broccoli casserole. And we called it company broccoli because the only time that my mom ever made it was for a holiday or when we had company. My dad worked for GE in the ballast department, and he was in research and development. And quite often, people would come tour his plant, and he would bring them to our house for dinner. And I used to always believe, I'm sure it wasn't really true, but it was always my turn to do the dishes when we had company. Okay, so let's get started. I have over here on the stove 2 packages of chopped broccoli. And when they get done, I'm going to drain. So in the meantime, I am going to grate up a couple of tablespoons of onion, and I like the way this size of grater does. And of course, that always kind of makes me weep sometimes. Well, not, cry. It makes my eyes water. We had a wonderful time Christmas Eve last night. We had Bernie's dad and stepmom and sister were here, and Luke and Tilly and their mom and dad, Kaylee and Anthony were here. Jared, Nikki, and their 3 daughters and their boyfriends were here. And then another grandson, or 2 other grandsons, brothers, Austin and Eli were here. Now just a little bit more to do. The nice thing about grating onion this fine is when, if you've got people that don't like the texture of onion, you don't even have to tell them onion's in there. If they're allergic, yeah, you need to tell them, but if they just don't like onion. Okay, I've got about 2 tablespoons there. So we'll just leave that there. And another thing I'm going to need is 2 eggs, well beaten. And when you're making a dish like this, especially when you're going to be mixing it with something hot, like that broccoli, it just mixes in better and is not as likely to start cooking right away. So here are my beaten eggs. I'm beating them up. It always fascinated me when I was a little kid watching my mom do this. It just kind of folds the air in there, and that's especially important if you're making like omelets or scrambled eggs. So we'll go to this family gathering today, and I'm taking along, I made cocktail wings, but I forgot to tell people they were out and about, that they were here. So I've got some left over, and I'm going to take those as well. All right, those are my beaten eggs. We'll set them right over here. And I also need a cup of grated cheese. And my daughter, when we got together on Christmas, Adam got me this handy dandy little grater thing. And I think I'm going to have to cut that into a smaller deal to get it into there. I think that's just about done. Yeah, I'm going to pull that off there. I'm going to go, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and, see, it's nice and green. I'm going to go ahead and drain this. Okay, and while that's draining, I'm going to let's see if I can make this thing work. Let's see, I'm doing it. I'm doing it backwards. Oh, I think I'll take this out. Press it in that way. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's pretty handy. Okay. I think maybe I should have let this get warmed up like I normally do. All right. Oops, I forgot to lock it. It's not locking real well on this. Okay, I'm going to need a little another slice here. I've got stuff in the way. Here we go. Alright. I'll probably moving you down just a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to do all of this. That is an 8-ounce block of cheese, and I need a cup, and there's 8 ounces in a cup, so let's go for it. And I'm going to pause you while I do the rest of that and turn it around so I can use my... All right, we are rolling again. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we'll put the broccoli in this casserole dish. And to that, I'm also going to add 1 cup of mayonnaise. And there is a note on my mom's recipe card that says mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip. So we'll just put that in there. Remove mayonnaise. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese in there. We'll stir that up a little bit. You see how stir it up here a little bit. Whoops. I'm going to clean that up. Okay. In goes the mayonnaise. And in goes the onion and cheese. This has always been a family favorite. One of us always makes it for our family Thanksgiving dinner. About 3 years ago, I was going to go to, I think we were going to Charleston, and I ended up having the flu, and I think it was that year I had like flu A. I was better for a week, and I did have a flu shot and a COVID shot. But I had flu A, and I didn't get to do Thanksgiving. And I did some video chatting with Elizabeth because she made our cheese crackers. And she'd made this before too, but she ended up rocking the cheese crackers. So I will do that recipe for you all soon. Okay, I've got that in there, and then I need the eggs. This is one of my casserole dishes that has the neat carrier with it that I can put a little heated pouch in. It keeps it warm. Although I'm not too worried about that today because we're only going about 5 minutes away, and it's like almost 60 degrees out here in southern Ohio on Christmas Day. And that's this. And I've seen it be that warm in this part of the country several times. Okay, I'm going to move this down here for right now because I need to do one more thing. I'm going to crush up these Cheez-Its. And Mom also has a note on the recipe card to use Cheez-Its, not cheese dips or any other cheese crackers that it doesn't taste right. That sounds like that was from the voice of experience, so I've never wavered. And my handy dandy way that I learned to do this is I just use my rolling pin in a plastic bag, and there's 2 cups, and it doesn't have to be exact, but you want 2 cups of these. And we're going to sprinkle them on top and put them in a 400-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. My kids always liked doing this for me when they were younger and still living at home. Smooth that out a little bit. All right, here we go. No, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to throw in another handful of Cheez-Its. I didn't actually measure that, so I'm not sure I had actually 2 cups in here. We will go to this gathering this afternoon, and then we will come home and rest up and pack. We actually may not pack until in the morning. There we go. So into the oven this will go. Alexa, set a 40-minute timer, please. And I will be back with you. Be right back with you when I take it out of the oven. Again, Merry Christmas. Okay, it's done. Here is the finished product. I'm going to put it in my little carrying case, and we're going to head on to the family gathering. And I'll tell you what, I'll take some pictures of people eating it, because we can't taste it right now because we're taking it somewhere. All right. Merry Christmas again.